New sanctions targeting some of Russia's richest business people come into force this morning, including against Chelsea Football Club owner Roman Abramovich. But despite the atrocities being reported from the battlefield in Ukraine, our Prime Minister is not directly labelling Russian President Vladimir Putin a war criminal yet. Take a look.
We are supporting the International Criminal Court to make that determination, but every piece of evidence points to the fact that there are war crimes being committed by Russia in Ukraine at the hands of the President, Vladimir Putin.
Here to discuss is Ukrainian-Kiwi lawyer Anastasia Gutarova. Good morning.
Good morning.
Last time we spoke, you said your brother was in the military in Ukraine. How is he?
He's still in the military. He is currently away from active fighting. But to give you an example, one of the things that my family and I have been doing recently is we've been trying to source body armour, body armour for him and some of the other members of my family. So it's tough.
So he's not being provided with any of that from his battalion?
Not right now, not unless you are at the very front lines.
Right. So how are you going about doing that? Are you trying to send it to him?
We, we have found someone who was able to make it locally in Ukraine and has been able to deliver it to him.
Wow. And you and your family here had to organise that for him?
My family here and all over the world have been working together to try and source it. Yeah.
Are you worried about him still?
Absolutely.
What's his battalion doing? How close to the front line are they?
They are away from the front lines right now, but they have recently sent a portion of their battalion into active fighting. So you never know what's going to happen next.
No, you don't. And his family, from memory, you said his family had decided to stay with him. Are they still with him now?
That is correct.
That's frightening for you.
Absolutely.
What about these sanctions? We've had new ones announced from the government. Are you happy with them? Are they going to change anything?
It's a great start, but it's not enough. The intention behind sanctions is really twofold. First of all, it's to limit Russia's ability to finance the war. And secondly, it's to target people with power in Russia to undermine their support for the invasion. And we're not really doing enough on either of those fronts. So to give you an example, I, as a New Zealand citizen, can still transact with Russian state-owned enterprises right now. I can help them raise money. I can import Russian goods. I can still watch Russian state TV, which is spreading propaganda in New Zealand. And that's just not enough.
So you're saying you would like our ability to invest in Russia, because some of the oligarchs run these state companies that you're talking about, right? And we can still go directly invest in those companies. You want that to stop?
Absolutely. I think that's very important.
What do you make of our progress so far? Because it was in early March, in fact, it was a month ago, almost exactly, that the Prime Minister announced the first round of sanctions, that we would be developing a sanctions bill. Has anything that we have done thus far actually made a difference, an iota of difference, for any of these wealthy oligarchs that we're trying to target?
It is a start, but it is not enough. If you look at what other countries are doing, their lists are significantly longer and wider in scope. We need to be following them, and we need to introduce sanctions which are in step with what Australia and the UK and the US are doing, for example. We also need to really identify people who are holding any assets in New Zealand on behalf of the Russian government and target them as well.
You're Ukrainian, but you're also a lawyer. Is Vladimir Putin, in your mind, a war criminal?
If you watch what's happened in Bucha and Mariupol, I don't think there can be any doubt.
Anastasia, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Ryan.
Really appreciate it. That is Ukrainian-Kiwi lawyer Anastasia Gutarova with us this morning.